need this stuff to film. We'll film with this. No, this one, this way. This thing takes forever to turn on. Always takes way too long. Check, check, check. Oh, that sounds good actually. So gear is fun, right? Like I love gear, and I know there's so many other people who also love gear. Some people who don't care about gear, sure, but gear matters, right? Like gear matters. Okay, well let me just go back to the beginning of how I started out. I bought a Nikon D5000. I think that's what it was. And then as time went on, I finally upgraded, and then I upgraded to Canon cameras, and I got a Canon 60D. And then eventually I thought at one point, if I could just own a Canon 70, oh man, my life would be complete. But inevitably I got it, and then it wasn't, and then I was like, oh, if I could just own a Canon 60, because someone told me I need to go to full frame. And then I got the Canon 60, and then I was like, oh, if I could just own a Canon 5D Mark III, and then I bought the Canon 5D Mark III, and then I just thought, hey, if I could own a Canon 5D Mark IV, it'd make my life complete. And then I got it, and it was, and then it wasn't. Because the EOS R came out, and the EOS R, everyone crapped all over it. I don't know why. It's an amazing camera. That's what I'm shooting this on. But I bought it, and I've loved it. And then I actually bought the Fuji GFX 50S medium format camera, which amazing camera. It just didn't fit within my workflow. So I've used a lot of cameras. I've used a lot of lenses. However, I've kept it pretty simple. Like, I shoot almost all my weddings with a 50mm, and then I have an 85 and a 35 that I use on occasion, and then I have a 16 to 35, like, see, so you can get these wide shots like this, because, you know, I don't use it a lot, but when I need it, it's awesome. But then the R6 came out, and I want that a lot, and then I just tried the 28 to 70 Canon f2.0, and it's like $4,000. So that means I have to sell my 35, 50, 85, 16 and 35, and I mean, it replaces all of them, but I gotta sell all that stuff and then still shell out another $1,000? That's crazy. That is so much money, and it begs the questions. Gear doesn't matter because I have what I need, but it would simplify my life, but because I could get rid of like all my lenses and just have just this one lens. That sounds amazing. But if I can follow the pattern of my life of when I'm buying all this stuff, thinking if I could just have the 70, if I could just have the 60, the 5D, the R, whatever it is, there's always gonna be something new and something better. So let's talk about the pros and cons of having good gear, whether it's like good lenses or it's good cameras and all of that stuff. So pros, you always have like the best stuff. You can justify to your clients for charging the prices you charge. That it's gonna be great. You know that you always have cool new fun toys or gear equipment to play with, and that's really fun, right? Like, it's really fun to have new stuff. Like even this video I'm filming on the RF 15 to 35, and it's not mine, it's my friend's, and he let me borrow it because I wanted to try it out. I'm also trying to find a reason to justify using it. That's why I'm making this video. But let's talk cons. Cons of gear, new gear, always getting new gear, is that it's expensive. Like, I have a friend who's been using the same Canon 5D Mark IIIs for like 10 plus years, and they're still great. Like, they're so good. He hasn't spent all the money and time researching and all that stuff because he just goes, I have what's good enough, and he just keeps working with it, right? And like, meanwhile me, I've bought new cameras over the years, kind of like I've already explained to you, and now I'm sitting here wanting more gear and making a video to try to justify it. So really, who's the loser here? Please don't say me. So gear's expensive, right? But in the case of the 28 to 70, my whole justification is the fact that I can then get rid of my 35, 50, and 85, and maybe even 16 to 35, and then just have just one lens. Because I'm all about simplicity, and I've always never really liked the zoom lenses until now, because it was always at 2.8, but now you have a 2.0, and that's just, oof, you get that depth of field at 50 to 70, that is nice. And Canon makes nice stuff, but is it always necessary to have the newest stuff? No. Here's the thing. I am a working professional photographer, and I'm still debating it, right? Like, if you're just starting out, you gotta know that gear doesn't matter. But gear also does matter because it does make things fun. So like, once you have the money and you can justify it, but also then don't fall into the trap of only just wanting too much gear, because at that point it's like you're just gonna keep spending and spending and spending. Like, I know people who all they do is talk about gear and buy gear, yet they're not making any money from taking photos or making videos. And at that point, I think it's a waste of money. Me, on the other hand, once again, trying to justify here, but like I'm working already. Like I make money, I'm in my studio, for crying out loud. Like this is how I make a living. So I am trying to justify it. Will I actually buy it? I have no idea, but it's just one of these things where I'm just trying to work through like what is good and what is not, and should I get it, should I not? Ooh, that rhymed. But yeah, anyway, thank you for letting me rant to you. And I don't really think there was a succinct. There wasn't a clear point to this video other than it's me just going back and forth in my own mind of whether or not I should get gear, and I still don't have the answer. But I'm going to rent the lens, the 28-70 lens, for a wedding this week if VizTech will ever get back to me, and we'll see if I actually like it, if I end up going for it. Because I really do think it could change the workflow of how I shoot weddings. And I've always said you only need a 50 all day, and I still think I stand by that. But now that I'm able to afford it, I think it would be cool to have. And it's not like I'm just buying things for the sake of it. Anyway, I'm rambling more, but thank you so much for letting me rant to you. And yeah, I hope you find this helpful and understand that gear doesn't matter, and just make the best you can with what you've got. All right, well, bye.